You are taking number 32 that you cut one piece of, and with right sides together, you're folding it in half, and you're going to stitch 5/8 of an inch away from the edge. And then I'm going to show you guys how to turn a loop without having a store-bought loop turner. We're going to turn it with basically a safety pin inserted. But first, we will sew this at 5/8 of an inch. After you sew it at the 5/8 inch seam allowance, you will end up grading the seams down, right, to 2 different lengths. And I'll do that hopefully rather quickly here. I'll probably edit it. Okay, so we're cutting it down to 2 different lengths. We're grading the seam on what's called the carriers, right? That are basically, I think they should have written belt loops myself, but you know. Okay, and then what you do, I cut mine in half. So that way there's a little bit less turning to the inside out, but you'll take just a regular safety pin, put it in the seam allowance securely, right, close to the stitching here, and you're basically going to work it through, and this can take a little bit of finagling if you don't have a loop turner. Obviously a loop turner's more successful, but and actually this might be a little tight. Okay, so again, I have it very close to the stitching. I'm going to take the end and I'm going to stick it, into the opening, and then I'm going to start curling it up, and hopefully this will start turning on itself. Okay, and the trick is getting it started, of course. Okay. So if the safety pin is not working out, you can do a stay stitch, and you don't have a loop turner, right? Go ahead and do basically a back stitch on the very end, and you're going to take this end of the needle. Make sure you don't have a really narrow eye, because then it might pierce your loop. But you can also sort of feed this through to the other side. And again, this one you're turning into 6 separate carriers or belt loops. But you're kind of inchworming it down to the other side. And again, if the eye of the needle is really narrow, you might pierce the fabric and it won't work. So once you get through to the other side is when you can start kind of inverse, trying to pull through. I'll put it against the white background. It is a little tricky in that you do have to sort of, until you get it started, and again, double thickness on the thread so it doesn't break on you, and then you start over. Should turn eventually. Okay, so we got our handy dandy loop turner, and we actually turned them to the outsides. Press it flat, right? Press the seam to one side, and then you're going to end up cutting it into 6 equal pieces around 4 inches each. And then you're going to take these, place them over the large dots, right? There's 6 spots, flush with the edge of the pant, and you're going to baste them on.